It is a wonderful night in Seattle, Washington, in the Pacific Northwest. It is 67,000 of your rowdiest friends ready for a Monday night fight, a Monday night party. This country is well versed in Monday night football, but they've never seen one like this. It's the round of 16 of this 2026 FIFA Men's World Cup. It's the United States and it is Belgium. A rivalry renewed, if you will, from a matchup in this very round of this very tournament 12 years ago. Tonight, the Stars and Stripes look for revenge against the Belgians, who, of course, are looking to once again cook the Americans as they did 12 years ago and as they did in a friendly played just 4 months ago in Atlanta. It is an amazing atmosphere here tonight. Seattle, of course, the home of the American football champion Seahawks. Tonight, America's soccer team looks to make one giant leap towards being world football champions. But Belgium has other ideas. Both of these teams have played in this stadium in this World Cup. Belgium winning, of course, in the round of 32 in very dramatic fashion here in Seattle against Senegal. You see the matchup. Here's the starting lineups for the United States. No changes for Mauricio Pochettino's team, with Wayne, Pennsylvania's Matt Freese of New York City FC still in goal for the U.S. It is a back three of 38-year-old captain Tim Ream from St. Louis, Chris Richards from Birmingham, Alabama, and Alex Freeman, who scored here in Seattle against Australia in the second group game. Five in the midfield from left to right: Anthony Robinson, Malik Tillman, Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, and Serginho Dest. Up front, Christian Pulisic, who was built for a stage like this. And indeed, Flo Balogun, number 20, is available to play and does start for Mauricio Pochettino. It's obviously been a big talking point all week long and a big controversy. For Belgium, one of the world's best goalkeepers, Thibaut Courtois, in his 20th career World Cup match, gets the start between the pipes. The back four is a bit inexperienced in World Cup play, to say the least, but they are talented. Maxime de Kuyper is the fullback on the left side, fullback on the right side. Timothy Castagna up the middle. The center backs are Brandon Makela along with Nathan Ngoy. Middle of the field, Luca Bacchio, Raskin, Trossard, the captain Yuri Tielemans, along with Amadou Onana, who did have a goal against the United States in Atlanta back in March. The striker up front is Charla de Ketelaere, who also scored from the penalty spot against the U.S. in Atlanta in that friendly where the United States scored the first and last goal of the game. But in between all of that, Belgium scored 5. Those are the starting 11s for the United States and Belgium in this incredibly dramatic round of 16 tie at this FIFA World Cup. We are so excited to bring it to you. It's a great night here in America. It's a great night for this world's game. We say hello, one and all. I'm Matthew Owens. Welcome to Seattle. Thanks for having us in for the soccer. This truly is an extremely exciting night. It's all built up to this for the United States. The long build-up 8 years ago when it was announced that the World Cup would be in the United States. Their destiny here tonight is the question. What a night it promises to be. Belgium in their light blue shirts with the splattering of pink and black numbers, and the United States wear their dark blues. It's Belgium to kick us off, and we are underway in Seattle with Brandon Makela sending a long ball up the far side, which is headed on by Maxime de Kuyper, and it comes to the edge of the D, and a quick shot taken from the left foot of a Belgian did not get through traffic. Loose ball on the near side is escorted out of play by Serginho Dest, but it will be a Belgium throw. And de Kuyper deep in American territory will be the one to throw in. 68,000 loud and raucous fans in the building tonight As De Kuiper hoisting that long throw into the left of the 6-yard box. It comes out to the top of the box and out for a left-footed volley by Yuri Tielemans that was blocked and then fired right back in. And a stretching save made early by Matt Freese as he denies the long-range attempt by Timothy Castagna, who fired it right back in with quite a bit of pace and intent as the U.S. was unable to clear. And Castagna from more than 22 yards out with the bid. And Freese flying out to his right, got a hand to it. It'll be a corner for Belgium. And it'll be De Kuiper from the near corner that will strike this ball in. Belgium ranked number 9 in the latest FIFA World Rankings. The United States ranked 17th. Both top 20 in the world. Set piece chance for Belgium just 90 seconds in. A lot of arm fighting and tussling going on in the penalty area as De Kuiper waits to try to pump this ball in. De Kuiper out of Brighton and Hove Albion, scored twice in the Premier League last season. Here he goes, out-swinging ball, left-footed to the back post, and it's headed on goal, but saved by Matt Freese. Not a lot of pace behind the header from Charles de Ketelaere, and Freese already has made 2 saves in 2 minutes. And the United States will get possession of the ball for the first time. A U.S. team that has won 3 games in this World Cup, more than they've ever won in a single World Cup. Tim Ream launches a long ball up the far side in the direction of Weston McKennie, headed out by the Belgian defense. Castagna gives up the throw, and the U.S. get it deep straight away here, and from the left of the 6-yard box, it's twisted across by Balogun, but it misses every one of the back post and will go out off a Belgian head out on the near side. Quick throw in taken by Malik Tillman. And Tyler Adams will send it back into the middle of the field for Chris Richards. Now for Ream, that 38-year-old captain from St. Louis, sends it out wide on the left-hand side where the sun shines very brightly in that pocket of space on the left side. Makes it very difficult to tell who's got the ball over there. It's taken away here by the Belgians. Nicolas Raskin with the takeaway. And Belgium with possession will try to move upfield, and doing so with a diagonal ball up that right-hand side. Richards gets to it and banks it out of play on the far touchline off of a Belgium shirt, off of Amadou Onana, who plays at Aston Villa. There's a lot of talent on this Belgium team. There always is for a Belgian squad that finished 3rd place in the World Cup in 2018, that World Cup in Russia that the United States did not qualify for. Ball thrown in on the far side to the top of the U.S. box. Alex Freeman will nudge it on into the middle of the field, and the Americans in possession in those dark blue shirts with white numbers and dark blue shorts, and it's stripped away by the Belgians off Serginho Dest, but it comes back to Weston McKennie, and he'll send a ball from the right touchline in for a run up the middle by Balogun, but it's scooped up by Thibaut Courtois, the 34-year-old from Brie out of Real Madrid. Mentioned earlier, his 20th career World Cup match, most ever in Belgium history. 2 times a Champions League winner at Real Madrid, and also had great success before that at Chelsea. Courtois will roll it out to his right and then get it back on a return. He is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. There is no doubt about that. He draws level with Hugo Lloris of France in most World Cup games ever started by a goalkeeper, with his 20th tonight. His long ball sprayed up the left side is taken away by Serginho Dest. Up the near side, he tries to play it forward for Weston McKennie, but it is an incomplete pass that goes out of play and will be a Belgian throw. Worldfeed giving us a replay of the save by Freese, reaching out with his left hand while flying to his right to deny Castagna. As off the throw, it pinballs around to De Kuiper, who will flare it back into the middle of the field. Timothy Castagna has it here before he knifes it back to Onana. Dropped onto the back as we complete the first 5 minutes here in Seattle. Seattle, a place where the United States has a terrific competitive record, including the win in their middle group game against Australia back on June the 19th. Here's a ball flown up the far side Deep into American territory and caught on a one-hop by Matt Freese. First MLS goalkeeper to start a World Cup game for the United States when he did it for Paraguay. Plays at NYC FC. He's made 5 saves, or at least coming in, he's made 5 saves on 6 shots on goal faced. He's already saved 2 tonight. As up the left-hand side comes Christian Pulisic for the USA. Crosses the halfway line and then plays it back to Tim Ream. Ream back on that far side for Anthony Robinson, who had that great screamer of a goal against Germany in their last tune-up game. Back for Pulisic, who had it taken away, but is able to bank it out of play off of a Belgium shirt on the far side, off of Onana. Again, when play is on that far left side, it's going to be really difficult to tell who's got possession of the ball and identify the players with the sun shining so brightly on that sliver of space. They could do us a real favor by just playing on the near side, as we've got a foul here against the USA. Dodi Lukebakio got taken down and fouled by Anthony Robinson. We'll see if JT, who is behind the scenes with us tonight, can send that message on to Seattle. Please play on the left side of the pitch for the first half. Perhaps all he needs to do is call Donald Trump, and he can have a conversation with his good buddy Gianni Infantino about that. Here's a ball up the field by Thibaut Courtois over the head of Charles de Ketelaere, and the United States are back in possession. I mean, it's the elephant in the room. We have to talk about it, I suppose, and what's a better way to talk about it than to joke about it? Here's Alex Freeman rolling a ball up the near side for Tyler Adams, who gets twisted up and taken down. Onana comes away with the ball, and then he plays it up the middle for a charging Dodi Lukebakio. Out wide to his right, Lukebakio enters the penalty area from the right, plays it across, and a cutback to the top of the 6. Could not be steered towards goal by Yuri Tielemans. Comes out on the near side for De Kuyper, who banks it out of play off of Dest. It'll be a Belgium throw. That was a good chance there for Belgium.
No matter the circumstances, Matthew, your job is to call the game.
Well, indeed. Belgium on the throw-in. Nathan Ngoy sends it all the way back to the goalkeeper, Thibaut Courtois. And Courtois will send it long, swinging it downfield to that far side of the field, where Lukebakio was able to chest it down on the far touchline, keeps it in play. Belgium attacking from our right to our left. Onana flares it back this way. Maxime De Kuyper on the ball. Flicks it back to the halfway line for Brandon Mekala. A lot of possession here early for Belgium, which is not how the United States has been playing through their first 4 games of this tournament. Here's a left-footed diagonal ball that comes left to the penalty area. Leandro Trossard will keep it and get it down to the end line, where his left-footed cross was blocked by Alex Freeman, headed straight up into the air. Danger here for the U.S., and it's not out. And Raskin sends it across, and it's tapped in front of the goal by Charles de Ketelaere, and Belgium lead early. Charles de Ketelaere wide open across the face of goal. A beautiful feed across, and the United States trail. In the 9th minute, Belgium lead. Charles de Ketelaere has the goal. He had one from the penalty spot against the United States in Atlanta in March. He scores this one in open play. Belgium lead the United States 1-0. Charles de Ketelaere playing up front, getting the start up front, rather than the likes of Lukaku and De Bruyne. Leandro Trossard started it all, and the Alex Freeman clearance attempt, which was not good enough, is what allowed Belgium to have a second bite at this. Good ball across by Nicolas Raskin to the top of the 6-yard box, even inside the 6-yard box. It's an easy tap-in goal for De Ketelaere, and Belgium, who scored 5 against the United States in that friendly in March, gets off to an early start here, and the U.S. are chasing the game. First time that they have surrendered the opening goal of a match in this World Cup. 7th goal for De Ketelaere in a Belgium shirt, and it is a great start for Belgium. Already 6 shot attempts through the first 10 minutes, 3 on target, and 1 in back of the goal. Here's Flo Balogun for the United States. Steers a ball from his left to his right. It's taken up the near touchline by Weston McKennie. McKennie tries to cut it to the inside for Dest, who slips, falls down, and coming away with it comes the Belgians, and forward to Kitalara gets taken down. It's a foul by Malik Tillman. So Tillman commits the foul, and Belgium out in front. Something that has really plagued the United States in their entire World Cup history has been getting behind early. They have not had that in this World Cup, but they do here in this round of 16 elimination game that means so much to this country and this sport and its place in this country. Here's a long diagonal ball sent up the middle. The target was Trossard, headed away by Richards, comes down for Ream, and Ream with his left foot will scoop it up the middle in the direction of Pulisic, but it's picked out, and Belgium are on the ball again. They've had the majority of the possession here early, as the European side. Of course, both of these teams in the controversy of what the build-up to this game has been because of the red card given and then taken away from Flo Balogun from the Bosnia game as the U.S. win possession, but up the right-hand side. It's lost just as quickly by Alex Freeman. It'll be a Belgium throw. Belgium is a team that you could certainly make the case has been able to rally behind the week that has been. You can make a rallying cry that everyone's against us. Off the throw-in, taken away, and it bounces around here on the near side, and we've got an American down, and that's Richards. And play is stopped as Richards got hit up high as Yuri Tielemans was trying to get the ball forward. Drop ball to restart play. And played back to Brandon Mekala. As Belgium played all the way back to Thibaut Courtois. With his left boot, he'll swing it long up the middle. Richards headed it away from De Kitalara, but he might still find it on this far side as it rolls to the right touchline to Kitalara, and he does get to it. Anthony Robinson trying to take it away, but he was able to play it to the inside, and Mekala sprinting towards the top of the D, lays it back outside. Raskin plays it to the right of the penalty area, loaded up top right corner. Onana slides it right back in. Belgium attacking. Ball across the face of goal in the direction of Luca Bacchio. Steered out of danger at least for a moment by the U.S. Pulisic got it out of the box, but Onana loads it up right side of the box. Chipped in towards the near post, and Freeze is able to take it off of Leandro Trossard's volley attempt that didn't have a lot of sting behind it. Sprinted into safety by Freeman. The United States in early trouble here. Not only are they behind, but they've turned it over again, and Belgium are running them up and down the field at this current moment. De Kitalara squares it, and a long-range bid by Leandro Trossard is over the bar. This is about the worst start that you could imagine for the United States. They do not look like themselves at all. Certainly they don't look like the team that we've seen through their first 4 games, and truly one of those, even against Turkey, really wasn't a good measuring stick. But this is a step up in weight class, no doubt, with no disrespect meant to be thrown at Paraguay, Australia, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. This is a step up in weight class. We mentioned this Belgium team ranked top 10 in the world in the FIFA rankings. U.S. bring it up with Ream, angled out to his left. Anthony Robinson scoops it forward. He tried to lift it ahead for McKennie, who was making a run up the inside left channel, but it's beyond him and into the arms of Thibaut Courtois. Just about to the end of the first quarter of an hour here. 1-0 lead for Belgium. Charlotte de Kitalara, 7 goals for his national team, and 2 have been against the United States. Ball to the far side on the halfway line. Robinson couldn't handle it for the United States, and Belgium are back in possession. They're wearing these same shirts that they wore here in Seattle against Senegal, and that wild come-from-behind victory with the light blue shirt splattering of pink, black numbers, white shorts, and white socks. Attacking from our right to our left. Across the halfway line, Mekala is able to finesse it up the left-hand side for De Kuiper. Back to the halfway line for Mekala again, left of the center circle. Nicolas Raskin plays it and will scoop it ahead up this left touchline in the direction of De Kuiper. Goes off of an American leg. Comes back down to Trossard. Then for Raskin. And then on the left touchline, Belgium in their own half with Mekala. Playing it back to Raskin and then perhaps back to Courtois. Nope, he thought about it, and instead he'll crank a switch ball up the far side that Anthony Robinson heads away, and it's out of play for a Belgium throw. So how will this United States team react to being behind straight out of the gates here? Again, take out the Turkey A game where they made so many changes. They already knew they were winning the group. Take that game out. They have not trailed in this tournament. But now they do, and they trail early with all the weight of the expectation on them inside this stadium with 67,000 rowdy fans that have been here all day long into the early morning hours waiting to see if the USA could pick up what would be one of their biggest wins in their national team's history. They play it in the back here with Freeman. Whacked ahead, and it's taken away by De Kuiper, who intercepts the pass. There's a Belgian player down here just inside the halfway line in the U.S. half, and that is Amadou Onana, 2 times the scorer in the Premier League last season with Aston Villa. And the physio staff out there for Belgium tending to Amadou Onana. Had to play against Senegal, did Onana. That's the country where he was originally born. JT?
Of course, when you hear the word Onana and then the words Premier League, not the first person you think of.
No.
With the same name. Yes. I don't know what happened earlier, by the way. Discord just broke. So, yeah, awesome. I don't even know if me saying hello, Matthew, your Discord has broken, came through.
Oh,
but yeah,
no.
Discord just broke for a moment.
Yeah, definitely did not.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't hear you for a good 2 minutes, but I could still hear you. Well, I could still see you talking. I just couldn't hear you.
Don't you love that?
Yeah.
Onana has been taken off the field here, and at least for now, there's no signs that he will be subbed off, at least not yet.
Are you sure about that?
But for now, looks like Belgium's going to play with 10 unless they make the decision to sub Onana off. Drop ball to restart play. Yuri Tielemans will play it back to Courtois. And Courtois will flare it long up the middle of the field. Anthony Robinson racing to get back to it, but it's drifted away from him, and it's taken on the far touchline. And Belgium have won themselves a corner, and now it looks like they will actually sub out Onana because he's taken a seat down on the bench, and Onana looks like he's really taken a good whack there. And the player that's up is Hans Van Aken. It looks like he is going to come on. It's not a corner for Belgium. Ball went out of play just inside that corner flag. It's a throw, and it's a long one. Turned in where Weston McKennie could head it back out from the right of the penalty area. Pumped in towards the top of the 6-yard box. Straight up into the air from Robinson. Further away by Tyler Adams. Flo Balogun going to try to run this down back at the halfway line. Belgium gets to it. It's all the way back out to Trossard. To Courtois to kick it out up the far side. Now we've got another Belgian player down as the ball bounces all the way back to Freeze. Play has not been stopped, but we have another Belgian player down in the U.S. half, lying on his back, Brandon Mekala. Play continues, but now it gets stopped by our referee, 39-year-old Jordanian Adam Makhadma. And it's Mekala who is down and looks like holding his rib cage. Oh, he got run into by his own teammate, Yuri Tielemans, Friendly fire there. And just to confirm, Onana has been replaced. An early sub having to be made by Rudy Garcia. Hans Vanaken comes in. Meanwhile, the U.S. restart play up this near touchline. Dest was able to drop it off. Then Dest gets it on a return. Serginho Dest up the right touchline with a burst of speed. Cuts it back to the edge of the D. Malik Tillman tried to flip it across to Anthony Robinson, but it's intercepted, and here come Belgium the other direction into the attacking half up the left-hand side to Kitalara. On an overlap, he's able to roll it towards the left side of the penalty area. Luca Bacchio gets to it, but he commits a foul in the process as he shoves down an American center back. Tyler Adams was the one charging to him, and Luca Bacchio pushed him in the back as Onana heads off the field here for Belgium. It's not a head-to-head that favors the United States, as an immediate long ball is scooped up by Courtois. As it went keeper to keeper, the United States has not beaten Belgium. And what's that? Oh yes, 96 years. Long by Courtois up the middle, and a bit of indecisiveness from Richards, nearly played into Kitalara in the penalty area, but Richards was able to wrap it out to his left. And Anthony Robinson comes away with it. Heart-in-your-throat moment there for the United States as Richards was hesitant in making a decision whether he wanted to play it back to Freeze or try to play it outside of the box himself. And Kitalara nearly caught him. And it would have been an almighty chance at a second goal. That one win that the U.S. does have over Belgium did come in the World Cup, first ever World Cup played in July of 1930. Since then, they have not beaten them. They haven't even gotten a result against them in the 7 matches since. Belgium's won them all, including earlier this year in Atlanta. Up the right-hand side comes Serginho Dest. Jab step to his right. Squared ball back comes to Freeman. Freeman rolls it on the inside right channel, looking for Tillman, taken away. Cleared all the way back to the halfway line, and Reen gets back to it. 5-2 win for Belgium earlier this year in Atlanta. As mentioned, the U.S. scored the first and last goal of that game. 5 in the middle from Belgium. As McKinney will lift the ball up the right-hand side, looking to get it to Flo Balogun. He does by the near corner flag, hands it off for Dest. Dest is pushed away from the ball by De Kuiper, and Belgium's able to clear, but we've got a foul called against Belgium. And this is going to lead us to our first hydration break, a hydration break that probably comes at a really good time for the United States. They really need to huddle up and have a talk about this because it's been a really poor start for the U.S. and they find themselves behind 1-0. Charlotte de Kitalara for Belgium very early has put the Red Devils in front here in this round of 16 knockout game in Seattle. Early thoughts from JT.
Well, I can just see there on the touch lines that there is a telephone in the center of that American huddle. I don't know where that phone's connected to, but we might get an announcement later on. And with that, anyway, Belgium have been all over them. End of. What does that sign say? I eat Belgian waffles. Hold on, I am unsyncing our TV pictures. Do we even get to read the whole sign?
It's a great question. To your point.
Nice one. Well, if you're going to show a fan with a sign, at least show the whole sign.
Well, indeed. To your point
I unsynced our TV pictures for nothing there, Matthew.
To your point of Belgium's been all over the U.S. early. 7 shots for Belgium, none for the U.S. 3 on target for Belgium. And, of course, 1 in the back of the net. And it was an extremely well-worked goal. That was easily tapped in by Charlotte de Kitalara. Could not have been an easier tap-in for him. And the United States in the most trouble that they have been in this World Cup to this point. Winner of this game will play Spain in a quarterfinal on Friday. Spain a winner earlier today over Portugal. That will be in Inglewood, California on Friday afternoon. Yes, JT?
You should look at Discord, right?
Okay.
Because I also eat Belgian waffles.
It does. It's right there. Ready for play to restart. Just as the clock ticks over into the 27th minute, Thibaut Courtois will send it long up the middle of the field. Anthony Robinson heads it into the center circle towards Flo Balogun, who could not field it, and it spun back again to Courtois on a restart for Belgium. Moving from our right to our left here.
You've jumped forward.
Long ball cranked up the middle, just expected on every hydration break in halftime. 26:30 on the clock, and Belgium on the halfway line near side with Leandro Trossard. Belgium unbeaten in their last 17 games, but have not been the most fantastic team in this World Cup. They've turned it over in the middle of the field here, and from the halfway line, McKennie turns it back into the center circle. Tyler Adams will test the inside left channel on a pass forward for Pulisic. The return for Adams. Now back out wide on the right-hand side, Anthony Robinson. Square ball for Pulisic. This is better from the United States. Left of the D is Christian Pulisic. Scans his options to his right. Directs it that way for Richards. First touch pass on the near touchline comes to Alex Freeman. Freeman with a chipped ball forward, and the return for Freeman at the top right corner of the penalty area is located instead by Leandro Trossard. Belgium attempts to clear. They do, and they have possession. Yuri Tielemans, the Belgian captain, is on it. Mention how this Belgian team has not been the most inspiring in this World Cup. 1-1 draw against Egypt, then a 0-0 draw against Iran, but then exploded for 5 goals and an easy win over New Zealand. That got them to the top of their group, but then looked very dull and lifeless here in Seattle in the round of 32 against Senegal. Looked for sure that they were going out, down 2-0. Then scored 2 goals in basically 3 minutes, late to force extra time, and then in a very controversial finish, won it basically right at the death. All the way back to Courtois. He'll send it long up the middle. Ream jousting with Tikita Lara. Ream got a header onto the far touchline, but it's Belgium in possession with Luca Bacchio. Goes out of play on that far touchline. It'll be a throw coming here for the Belgians. Coached by 62-year-old Frenchman Rudy Garcia. He was named the coach of this team in January of 2025. Thrown in, knocked away by Robinson. Popcorns around in the middle of the field. U.S. had it momentarily. McKennie lost it but got fouled. And it'll be a free kick here for the U.S. in their own territory. Tim Ream will take the free kick short. And here come the United States back with possession. Up the right touchline with Alex Freeman. Dropping it back for Chris Richards. His long diagonal ball up the left-hand side is guided for Anthony Robinson. Castagna's there defensively. Robinson inside left channel. Pulisic, a burst of speed, gets him towards the edge of the D where he feeds it for Balogun, and he gets fouled from behind by Vanaken, the early substitute. It'll be a free kick for the United States in a dangerous spot. And, of course, they scored off one of those late against Bosnia with Malik Tillman. That made it 2-0 and got the U.S. to the finish line of that game. Perhaps it'll be Tillman on another delivery here, because this will be in position where they can go for goal. Josie Altidore, shown by the World Feed, former U.S. striker, scored a ton of goals for the Stars and Stripes. So right as the clock clicks to the half-hour mark, the United States, who's been well outplayed in this first half, they've been clearly the second-best team on the field. Free kick opportunity, and Malik Tillman is the one over it. He scored on a free kick in a similar spot to this against Bosnia to put the game away. Born in Nuremberg, Germany, Tillman making a difference for the American national team, and let's see what he can do here. Tillman from straight on goes for goal, and he scored again! Malik Tillman! More Malik magic! And the United States draw level! He's done it again! It's 1-1! Malik Tillman bangs in another one! And Seattle shakes and roars again! It's been a horrible start for the U.S., but they get a goal against the run of play, and it's 1-1, and Courtois barely moved. You wonder if it took a deflection, and it looks like it did. It slightly took a deflection off the side of Hans van Nocken's head. He was in the wall and leapt up to try to block it, and it looked like it just went off the side of his head. And just that slightest of deflections caught Courtois out. So Tillman, again, on a free kick, powers the U.S. 1-1 just past the half-hour mark. Belgium back in possession here with De Kuiper. As the sun begins to move away from the whole field, that left side of the field that was in sun earlier, not anymore, thankfully, as it's clipped long by Courtois, taken down in the middle by De Ketelaere, and he's got it on the inside right channel, and he's charging forward with it before he drops it off. Now a switch ball up the left-hand side. Leandro Trossard, top left corner of the penalty area. Belgium hasn't had much possession here lately, but they do now. And Trossard crosses. It's a free header. De Ketelaere scores again. Belgium, in the blink of an eye, regather the lead. What a ball by Leandro Trossard. And Charles De Ketelaere has the U.S.'s number. He scored twice in this first half, and the American ecstasy doesn't last very long. Seattle shook. Now Seattle is silenced again. What a ball that is, though, by Leandro Trossard, with two defenders, Dest and Freeman, draped over him, and he somehow clips it in, and Charles De Ketelaere does much better than Tim Ream does, going for that header, and it's turned in by De Ketelaere, who now has 8 career goals for Belgium, and 3 have come against the United States. And a kick of the water bottles from Mauricio Pochettino. And what a major letdown that is for the U.S., who had found a way to sneak back into the game after really a horrifying start. And just like that, they're behind again. Belgium have already won a quick throw here off the restart, thrown in on the far side. It bounces around, and a loose ball from the right of the penalty area will be run down by Freeman, who crosses in, defended away by the Belgian defense. 35th minute we play. Still loads of time left here as we've got a foul going against the United States, and Weston McKennie frustrated with that whistle. And he goes to have a word with Adam Makhadma, the Jordanian referee, and McKennie's just been given a yellow card. McKennie, a home game for him. He's from Fort Lewis, Washington. And he tripped up Nicolas Raskin. And it's a yellow card on McKennie. The referee, Adam Makhadma, in his first World Cup, born to a Jordanian father and a Bosnian mother, getting a round of 16 assignment. Flying under the colors of the Jordanian flag. Free kick to Kuiper. Takes it long up the far right side. Diagonal ball picked out by Anthony Robinson, taken by Pulisic, sprinting up the left-hand side, turns, hits the brakes, gets around Luca Bacchio. Well done by Pulisic in the middle of the field. Now it's shot up the middle, and Adams was able to finesse it back on the near touchline. Freeman forwards it. Turned back to the halfway line by Tillman for Richards. Malik Tillman, who's becoming a national hero, has it here in the middle of the field before turning it back for Adams. And this high press from Belgium is causing problems for the United States as they are backpedaling here with Ream, and then Adams sends it back to Matt Freese. Well, obviously something has woken up this Belgium team as Freese finally sends it long. Balogun got a piece of it in the middle of the field. It would not drop for Pulisic, and Belgium are on the ball at the halfway line of the near left side. To Kuiper will turn it back for Raskin. He forwards it up the left-hand side. The U.S. are there defensively, but Freeman almost allowed Trossard to get back into getting that ball, but Freeman escorts it out. Thrown in by Freeman, taken by Freese, and lifted up the middle of the field. Header away by De Kuiper. We'll come back to Freese, and he'll roll it out to Ream. Ream will forward it up the far left channel. McKennie turns it back. Tillman sends it for Richards. It's 8 shots for Belgium to the United States 1. Half of those 8 on goal here from the Belgians, and half of those 4 have ended up in the back of the net. 49% possession for Belgium, 43% for the U.S. Bouncing ball that Tillman could not handle cleanly. It's a takeaway by Luca Bacchio, and they've given possession up pretty quickly here as well, the U.S. Lara tried to turn out wide to his right. Wraps it onto the back, and Belgium will start again with the ball at the feet of Courtois. As we get closer and closer towards the end of this first half. Some high pressing here from the United States. They've nearly forced a takeaway in the back. Belgium's been able to hold on to it, however, and it's chopped across the field from left to right, and now Castagna can forward it to Luca Bacchio. Up the far right touchline. Rims it back to Raskin. And now once more out wide on that right-hand side. Luca Bacchio on the far touchline against Anthony Robinson. Was able to sort it back to the top right corner of the penalty area for Yuri Tielemans. Now Luca Bacchio on his left foot, ball in, headed away by Tyler Adams over the goal. It'll be a corner for Belgium. Set piece opportunity here. And again, Belgium ahead in this first half. When you looked at the lineups and you didn't see, once again, Kevin De Bruyne and Romelu Lukaku in the starting lineup, you thought, okay, the U.S. needs to pour everything they can into getting ahead, and maybe even ahead by a couple of goals in the first half, in the first hour. That certainly hasn't happened. Here's the corner, sent in, and a flick at the near post by Raskin, ended up on goal, saved by Freese, who bowls it ahead for Dest, chopped away by De Kuiper, and Belgium are right back on the ball again. They've just been the stronger team through this first half. And they possess in the back, does Belgium. That was really dangerous to another set-piece goal. That was a lovely flick at the near post by Raskin. Here's a long ball looped up the left-hand side in the direction of Vanaken, taken away by Adams, sent back to Richards. We work the 40th minute here in Seattle. 80-degree late afternoon, early evening, as we close in on 6 p.m. local time in the Pacific Northwest. Mentioned a moment ago that something has woken up this Belgian team. Remember, 2-0 down, and they could not have looked more dead here in Seattle against Senegal in their round of 32 game, and then all of a sudden a blitzing to get them back in it to win it. Here's a long ball up the right-hand side. Balogun trying to run it down. Speared away from him by Nathan Ngoy. Goes out of play near the corner flag. It'll be a throw for the U.S. And Serginho Dest will pitch it in to Alex Freeman. Now for Tillman, inside right channel, 30 yards from goal. He'll send it further back for Adams, around the horn Robinson. Out wide of the left-hand side, Pulisic. He takes on Castagna. More Belgians arrive. Pulisic gives it up. Robinson plays catch with him. Pulisic soft touch as he tried to direct it on for Adams, and Belgium with another takeaway. And just hasn't been strong enough on the ball here from the United States in this first half. They're easily losing possession. De Kuiper turns it back for Mekala, and then for Courtois it goes. Courtois plays it long up the middle. Popcorn's around in the center circle, and Belgium are back on the ball with Van Aken. And Belgium look to get forward again. Up this right-hand side, here they come. Now back towards the middle of the field. Turned back on the left-hand side. Leandro Trossard had that amazing assist on the second goal. Both of the Belgium goals scored by Charles de Ketelaere. Left side of the circle is Mekala. Forward ball again comes to Raskin. And a takeaway by Richards, but he's called for the foul as he dragged down Van Aken. Free kick for Belgium then. What a first half they have played. This Belgium team that has surely heard all of the talk about how this is not a very lethal Belgium team like they were a couple of World Cups ago when they made the semifinals. Free kick will come about 40 yards away from goal, inside left channel. 2 in the wall for the United States. And it's swung in left-footed, and a free header goes wide. It was a great delivery by De Kuiper, but the header is not on target from Luca Bacchio. But it was a great effort. Tremendous ball whipped in by De Kuiper, and Luca Bacchio, you'd have to say, should do better with that header because he was unmarked. My goodness, what were the Americans doing there? They get off scot-free from that. But it has been poor defending here from the United States. It's been poor football from the United States in this first half. But here's Pulisic up the left-hand side. Tried to rattle a ball forward that goes off a Belgian body, out of play on the far side. It'll be a U.S. throw here as we're closing in on the end of this first half. Thrown in for Pulisic. Tries to forward a ball through traffic to McKennie. He does. Back out Anthony Robinson, left of the penalty area. Hits the brakes, button hooks. Feeds McKennie. Square ball back for Ream here. Ream into the middle for Adams. Now Richards. Square at goal, 50-plus yards away. Around, out wide to the right-hand side, Serginho Dest. Turned on back for Alex Freeman. Freeman flicked it on in the direction of Balogun. Never made it to him. Cleared back out to Freeman at the halfway line, and he'll send it to Freeze. We're in the penultimate minute of the 45 here. Tim Ream on the ball again for the U.S. Ahead up the left side for Anthony Robinson. Then Tillman with a first touch pass to Ream. And he'll scrape it back across the field from his left to his right. Freeman up this right-hand side. Serginho Dest makes a cut to the inside of Trossard. Tries to play it in for Balogun. Takes a deflection to the near touchline. It is out near the flag for a U.S. throw. So deep in Belgium territory, the United States will have a throw as we click over into the 45th minute here. Tillman going to try to launch this in as long as he can, Russell Wilson style. Fitting here in Seattle. As the referee stops him from throwing it in immediately, wants to speak to Chris Richards and Thibaut Courtois. U.S. very fortunate to not be down more than they are right now, but they are being outplayed. Tillman's long throw to the top of the 6. Oh, and it came down for Balogun, who was falling down, and the ball goes out of play wildly. Oh, it dropped for Balogun, and he had a Belgian body right in front of him, and he just couldn't get that shot down at all. Flies wildly out of play, but it will be a corner for the U.S. off the deflection. And here's Christian Pulisic. And now, the VAR room has been at work because they have reversed the corner. And that feels like the right call because I saw no deflection from the Balogun shot. Looked like it was straight off of his boot and then straight up into the air. So it's a goal kick, not a corner, and Courtois will fling it long where Richards heads it back into the Belgian half for Ngoy to run down, wrapped up the far side. Pulisic couldn't take it away. It comes to Vanaken. 6 minutes added on, as you see. Ball out of play in front of Mauricio Pochettino. It'll be a Belgium throw. Belgium playing the best that they have in a long, long time. Again, did beat New Zealand 5-1. No disrespect to New Zealand, a fairly poor squad. Throw in is headed back out. And another throw coming to Kuiper. Puts it in near touchline left of the penalty area. It's stung to the inside left channel where Vanaken had it knocked off his boot. It's recovered, however, and sent back out wide of the left-hand side for Raskin. A bunch of traffic here, a bunch of Belgians and Americans all in one area here, and a cross by Raskin was blocked out of play. Throw taken very quickly, but it looks like they've said the throw should belong to the U.S., and Raskin is right into the face of the referee, who gives a very stern look at him and points the other way, telling him to move away as Freeman throws in. Chested down by De Kuiper. It comes to Dest. He's got Anthony Robinson making a run on the far side if he can see him, but it doesn't look like he can. Dest is going to go alone here, and then he gets pushed down at the top right corner of the penalty area by De Kuiper, who stood his ground defensively, and Belgium with another takeaway. Too many of those from the United States perspective in this first half. Luca Bacchio for Belgium. Out wide on the right-hand side, trotting towards the American final third. Tyler Adams in front of him to slow him down as we're just about halfway through the 6 minutes added on. Raskin sends it to the far touchline. Ball lifted in towards the back post beyond anyone in the light blue and pink. Comes out to the left of the penalty area. Leandro Trossard gets to it. Trossard goes left, fakes right, goes left again on Freeman. It deflects out off of Freeman over the end line. Should be a Belgium corner by the looks of it. But now the players are walking the other way. Might be a goal kick. Certainly looked like it was off of Freeman. They have given a corner for Belgium. That's the right call. And it's rolled in softly, and then with the left foot, shot across the face of goal and woefully wide from Luca Bacchio as they played the corner short and rolled it to the left side of the penalty area. And Luca Bacchio with a shot that was never going to test Matt Freese. U.S. trying to play from the back. That could be dangerous against this high press of Belgium. The ball sent forward up the middle. Mekala's taken it away, but there's a foul going against Belgium here. It'll be a free kick for the U.S. Final couple of minutes here of this first half in Seattle. Strong first half from the Belgians. Here's the ball set up the middle. Balogun on the end of it. No! It bounces off of Courtois, but away from Balogun. And Belgium's able to clear. That was a good ball. Speared up the middle by Tillman. Balogun nearly ran it down. That's better from the U.S. Off the throw, Richards gets it in to Ream. Out wide on the left-hand side, Anthony Robinson. Far channel. Looks for options in front of him. Steps to his right. Turns back. Reverses for Ream. Now sent on for Richards. Richards will fork it up the middle. A flick on by Balogun. It nearly found McKinney. He tried to touch it off on the right-hand side for Dest. Took a deflection. Again, a well-positioned defensive Belgian. And here comes Belgium up the far side with Ngoy charging up the middle. Back into the circle it comes. It's dragged on the near left side for Maxime De Kuiper. De Kuiper sends it to Mekala. Mekala, who's been with Club Brugge for over 10 years. That's the best team in Belgium, of course. Long diagonal switch ball from right to left by Ngoy over the head of Trossard. And out for a U.S. throw as we're into the final minute of the 6 that were added on. Thrown back to Freeze. Pressure comes from De Ketelaere, who's becoming an American sniper right now for Belgium. Here is Richards, twisting it forward. Adams trots ahead towards the halfway line in the final seconds of this first half. Ream back for Adams inside left channel. Turned back by Vanaken. Bad ball sent back towards Richards. He'll run it down, but he had to expend a lot of energy doing so. Now the ball up the right-hand side. Kept in by Tillman. A nutmeg as he feeds it for Dest. Now ahead for Balogun into the area from the right. It is shot blocked. Out of play over the end line by Ngoy. It'll be a corner. Balogun with plenty of speed to burn. And it was Tillman doing a masterful job tiptoeing up that near touchline and then nutmegging Raskin. And here right before the halftime whistle, another set-piece opportunity for the U.S. Scored off a free kick earlier in this half. Chance at a corner right on the halftime whistle. And if they could somehow get to the locker room at 2-2, they'd feel like they just robbed a bank and got away with it. Pulisic over by the near corner flag will deliver this in. Right arm in the air. Pulisic. Right-footed delivery, easily caught at the top of the 6-yard box by Courtois. He falls to the ground with the ball wrapped around his arms, and that should be the halftime whistle, and it is. And at halftime here in Seattle, it's been really a difficult watch from an American perspective. They've been clearly the second-best team on this field, and they're lucky that it's not 2-0. Instead, it's the United States 1 and Belgium 2. Charlotte de Ketelaere with 2 goals, a tap-in the 9th minute, a free header in the 33rd. Between those two, Malik Tillman scoring directly off a free kick for the second game in a row for the U.S. He did that in the 31st minute. It's a 2-1 game as we go to the second 45 here in Seattle. Well, hopefully we will have better luck with dogs during the halftime than we did yesterday. I will hand you off to JT. I have rushed home again on this weeknight. So, JT, as I scramble to try to find some dinner.
This is absolutely diabolical.
And it may very well be. And Pierre has jumped in as well. See, JT, you're not on your own now. Okay.
Well,
Pierre.
Hold on.
Yes? Go ahead, JT.
You're telling me that it's we've got someone else, we've got another American on the phone, not who everyone thinks that we may have on the phone. Got it.
Indeed.
Pierre, just to confirm that you don't have any powers to change anything in the game, right?
I do not have any powers to change anything in the game. I am a talented guy, but I'm not that talented. I can promise you that.
Pierre, thank you for joining us, as it is a weeknight and a work night for some of us. I have to rush and try to find dinner and try to feed dogs.
Some of us.
Well, yeah.
Where I actually have to be up at a decent time.
Well, that's very that's exactly right. But yes, I have to go feed dogs, feed myself a little something. So JT and Pierre, take it away.
Hopefully, you're feeding different food to the dogs than what you're feeding yourself.
Well, yes.
Okay. Welcome to possibly the first ever JT Waffles with Pierre Moss. Hello, Pierre.
Hey, JT, how are you?
Good, but tired. You?
Same here, my friend.
Incredible. We're just getting highlights of the BBC match because, well, it is 2 a.m. in the morning and BBC can't bother to have a studio panel, so highlights it is. Here is Portugal and Spain, of course, Pierre. Goodbye, Portugal. Goodbye, Ronaldo. Spain are through to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and it's Mikel Merino once again scoring another big goal in a big game. He does it for Arsenal quite often, and this time he's done it for Spain. So Spain on the way to the quarterfinal round, and this is probably the last we've seen of Cristiano Ronaldo in the Portugal shirt. And that's a sad sight to see, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. As they will move on to the quarterfinals. In fact, let's go through these beautiful graphics real quick as we're mentioning upcoming games. Tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, Argentina versus Egypt. And then Switzerland, Colombia, also tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. Then France versus Morocco in the first of the quarterfinals, Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Then we have the winner of this game versus Spain, Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And then Norway versus England, Saturday, July 11th at 5 p.m. Eastern. And then it's either Argentina, Egypt, or Switzerland, Colombia in the other quarterfinal, Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Then it is the Quaker State 400 available at Walmart. What a name for the NASCAR Cup Series. Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Then it's who versus who in the first semi-finals, Tuesday, July 14th at 3 p.m. Eastern. I don't know if Pierre has seen these graphics yet. Then it's someone versus someone in the second semi-finals, Wednesday, July 15th at 3 p.m. Eastern. Then it's semi-final loser 1 versus semi-final loser 2 in the third place game, Saturday, July 18th at 5 p.m. Eastern. Then it's the best from the left side of the bracket versus the best from the right side of the bracket in the World Cup final, Sunday, July 19th at 3 p.m. Eastern. Incredible graphics.
Graphics, by the way. Love it. Love it. Love it.
I didn't know what to put for the semi-final and the third place game in the final graphics, so some running jokes and funny stuff, I guess.
I'm all for it.
Thoughts on this first half of Belgium USA?
Credit to Belgium. They have taken the game to the US, and that's concerning considering Lukaku and De Bruyne and Doku all did not start this game. It's been Charles Catelaire, who in Serie A play has been largely a disappointment. A very talented young man, but largely disappointed in Serie A play. But tonight for Belgium, he's been the guy. He has been the guy. And speaking of the guy, the Americans, Christian Pulisic, need him to wake up. Wakey, wakey. The game started 8 p.m. Eastern. Wakey, wakey. Let's go. Let's go. And he's not the only one who needs to wake up here. The U.S. midfield, they need to wake up as well. Wakey, wakey. Let's go. And just overall, the U.S. need to tighten up defensively. Because honestly, Belgium could have easily scored two or three more at least two more goals in that first half, and that would have really put this game out of reach. I did like what the U.S. started to do toward the end of the first half, playing those long balls in the Balogun, and Pulisic's got to do way more, and the midfield has to do way more as well.
Balogun can definitely do some things after the last couple of days. Jeez. Anyway, I don't know if you can see my camera, but I am. This will be unpopular to you, Pierre, but I am Belgian. I am Belgium today. We have Belgian waffles, Belgian Coca-Cola glass from Belgium itself.
I can dig it.
These not so, but yeah. And I can't wait for in a couple of days' time. After this game has concluded, for this result to be reverted. After Belgium win.
Well, let's hope that Belgium doesn't win. But if they do win, it'll be because the U.S. Didn't play a better second half, and Belgium did play up to their full potential in the second half. But again, the U.S. have to start attacking the same way they did late in that first half. Bring that earlier in the second half. But how about that atmosphere last night for the Mexico-England game? That was special.
It was indeed. Pierre, you don't know this, but we had a watch party in the JBM Discord server. It was me, the Oracle Matthew Owens, And then from the JBM side, Omi and Jack from our NASCAR stream. And we named the Discord channel "We're a Better Squad Than England." Now, I don't want to go on the pitch because we'll be absolutely dominated, and that statement would quickly become untrue. But let's just say that a watch party, which no one knows happened, by the way, because it was in a Discord channel called the Private Commentary Box, which is locked to the most senior of officials, which sounds really official when we're the least official people on this planet.
That sounds very official.
Hello.
Now, I rushed back in because I do want to ask Pierre some questions, and I do apologize if I'm just recycling what you guys talked about because I was not listening while I was away. It was very chaotic. It's always chaotic.
I will play the Fox NFL music if you repeat yourself.
Okay. I'm going to guess that I probably won't because I don't think JT's thinking about this game in the same frame of mind as I or many Americans are. But, Pierre, I want to ask you a serious question here. And this game is far from over. But the U.S., with a disastrous start, they're very fortunate to not be 2-0 down here. This was supposed to be the time. This was supposed to be the World Cup where the U.S. broke the glass ceiling. They were supposed to beat teams that we couldn't beat before. This is when we were supposed to get to the quarterfinals, maybe even further. Home ground, our World Cup, Mexico and Canada's too, in Seattle against a Belgium team that all these people have been talking about hasn't been as good as past Belgium teams, and that's, well, quite accurate by watching them in this World Cup. If the United States lose this game tonight, Pierre, it's more than a disappointment. I don't mean to be harsh, but it's more than a disappointment. It's a failure, and I don't want to hear any more about how soccer is going to overtake basketball and baseball and whatever else is a major sport in the United States, because if they can't get it done tonight, it's never going to happen. Not in my lifetime, at least. I cover a lot of sports, Pierre. I watch a lot of sports, and I know you do too. And how long have we heard? Well, soccer, it's coming for the NFL, and it's coming for the NBA and Major League Baseball. Well, tonight has to be the night, or it's never going to happen.
Now, that was a Matthew rant and a half.
No question. And it has to happen tonight. And in order for it to happen tonight, the U.S. need a few people to wake up. They need to wake up defensively, for sure, because I'll do you one better. They're fortunate to not be down 3 or 4-0 in this game, to be honest with you. They need to wake up defensively. The midfield needs to wake up. They haven't done much of anything. And our number 10, Christian Pulisic. Hey, wakey.
Yeah.
Game.
That's another one. He was supposed to be a national hero. We've talked about him being a national
hero are you?
For 10 years. It's time to show up.
Yeah. I mean, tonight is the night. Tonight has to be the night. Listen, I understand you're going to lose the ball from time to time. I get it. But you still have to try to hold on to the ball, take guys on. That's what you do. That's your strength. We need him to be our best player. Also, too, I like what the U.S. started to do toward the end of that first half, getting long balls in the Balogun. Balogun can get behind the Belgian back line. Let's be honest. The Belgium center halves, they're decent, okay? But it's not like Vincent Kompany's back there. Mm-hmm. It's not like Jan Vertonghen's back there. Mm-hmm. It's not like Toby Alderweireld's back there. Mm-hmm. Those guys are not back. Balogun can do his thing, but we have to give him service. Right. And that means the midfield has to wake up in this game. They have to.
That's exactly right. I'm glad you came on, and I'm glad I got back to talk to you. Yes, JT.
Pierre, I'm gonna do the thing because when I was talking to Pierre, the same mention about US waking up was also mentioned. So, and also, It was also mentioned that the US were looking better towards the end of the first half. So, thank you.
Thank you, JT. We are ready for second half kickoff. Thank you, Pierre. Hope to hear from you at the end of the night, and hope to hear from you at the end of the night in a celebratory fashion, but we'll see.
Yes, sir. We'll see. We'll see.
Thank you as always,
I would like
Pierre.
everyone to know that I have just absolutely demolished a chocolate Belgian waffle.
Wow, look at you. Okay, so we are ready for the second half to begin, and a substitution has been made by the United States, and they're going to bring on Gio Reyna of Borussia Mönchengladbach. Reyna's going to come on here, scored his first career World Cup goal in their opener against Paraguay. He's come on to replace Serginho Dest. So Dest, his night is over, and the second half, the U.S. on the field will kick us off. And the second half in Seattle is underway with a forward kickoff.
You've jumped.
On a long ball up the far side that is picked out by Belgium. And Thibaut Courtois will fling it long up the middle of the field. Anthony Robinson's header away lands right between the technical areas. It'll be a throw-in for Belgium. We've seen a lot of come-from-behind victories in this World Cup. We've seen a lot of incredible late drama. Belgium, of course, on this field did that against Senegal. We'll see if the U.S. can do something similar tonight. Belgium on the ball off the throw on the far side. It's De Kuyper playing it up the far touchline. Belgium in these light blue shirts with the splattering of pink. It looks very different, that's for sure, than what we're used to. Ball ends up out of play. And it'll be another throw-in coming. Tossed in, 1 minute gone here in this second half. And Belgium on the ball here with Yuri Tielemans losing it. Christian Pulisic comes away with it for the United States. You heard Pierre say, absolute truth, they need Pulisic to be the best player on this field in this second half. Here he is losing the ball on the halfway line, but Luca Bacchio couldn't hold it in play. Pulisic takes a quick throw in for Tim Ream. Now back on the near side for Anthony Robinson. 90 seconds gone, second half. Here's Robinson up the left-hand side in his forward ball. Pulisic wasn't even looking for it, and it's gone out for a Belgium throw. So one substitution from each team. Of course, Belgium forced into a sub earlier due to an injury to Amadou Onana. As off the throw-in, charging through traffic on the left-hand side, Malik Tillman tripped up and fouled. And the U.S. get play back underway very quickly. In the center circle here is Tyler Adams. Flares it up the middle. It's brought down at the edge of the D, but not cleanly by McKennie. And instead it comes back to Van Aken, who was the substitute that came on early for Belgium to replace Onana. And again, that U.S. substitution at halftime. Gio Reyna on to replace Serginho Dest. Ball out of play on this near side. You see confirmation of that substitute as Gio Reyna, who was at Borussia Dortmund at one point in his life, teammates with Erling Haaland, and Erling nicknamed him the American Dream. He needs to have a big second half here, perhaps, to let this dream continue for the United States in this World Cup. Ream slots the ball up the middle. Here is Reyna shedding one defender, playing it back out wide on the left-hand side. Anthony Robinson on this left wing. He'll chip a ball in. It's over the head of Balogun, who leapt up for it. Belgium try to defend it away. It's on the edge of the D. Further out to safety by Luca Bacchio. Back on this left-hand side in possession of the U.S., Anthony Robinson. Turns away from Luca Bacchio, sends it back up the middle of the field. Adams sprays it inside right channel. Tillman dropped on back for Richards. This way for Ream. Ream on for Pulisic. Backpedals into some space, but now comes forward into some more traffic. Soft back pass that Richards just had to plunk forward to keep from being a terrible giveaway, and it's just been poor passing, really, from the United States a lot tonight. It's been one of their main issues. They've just not very strong passes of the ball. Courtois takes the goal kick and sends it up the middle of the field long. Ream heads it down. Ending up on the ground is Tillman. Belgium has come away with it, however, here. And it's flicked forward by Lara, looking for a run up the middle from Trossard. Taken instead by Freeze. U.S. back up the field with it from our right to our left in this second half. In the dark blue uniforms with white numbers, white nameplates, dark blue shorts, and dark blue socks to match. Ream up the left-hand side. Locates Tillman. Tillman skipping forward, trying to take on Castagna. On an overlap, he finds McKennie from the left of the penalty area. On his right foot, trickles it back for Reyna left of the D. Reyna switches from left to right. Tough ball for Freeman to handle, but he brings it down. But blitzing him is Trossard and forces yet another takeaway. Reyna tries to keep it in U.S. control, but it's De Kuiper on the far side who will flare it all the way down into the American half to our right, and Ream back on it. 50 minutes complete here. U.S. ball, McKennie inside left channel, and he got taken down by Castagna. No whistle there, though. Belgium with possession and a ball loop forward up the right-hand side. Luca Bacchio's on it. Luca Bacchio approaching the penalty area from the right, taking on Ream to the end line. Cross is blocked by Ream. It's out of play for a corner. Corner for Belgium as Ream and Luca Bacchio end up on the floor. How will the United States go about this? Can they come from behind here? From this near flag, Yuri Tielemans, the Belgian captain, will take Belgium's fourth corner of the night. Right-footed outswinger. Headed out to the edge of the area by the U.S. defense. Comes top right corner of the box. Left-footed ball in by Luca Bacchio. Easily caught by the double-handed and airborne Matt Freeze. And he'll roll it out for Tyler Adams to bring back forward. Adams on this left-hand side. High press again from Belgium, and that's been a bit tricky for the U.S. to solve tonight. Ream then sends it for Richards on the far side. He'll gallop ahead and send it to the halfway line. Now a return for Birmingham, Alabama's Chris Richards. Scaled back this way for Ream. Poked up the left-hand side. Anthony Robinson has a bit of space. Here he comes. Twirls it in to the edge of the area. Left of the D. Pulisic had it. Lost it. He is down. Belgium gets possession. Taken back away by Reyna. But Pulisic is still down. Right on the edge of the penalty area to the left of the D. Play is carried on here with the U.S. in possession. Tillman on the ball. Now he's pointing at Pulisic. Trying to get the referee to stop play. Now he does. And Pulisic is down. He was trying to take a shot with the right foot, and as he reared back to load up the shot, it went into the heel of Yuri Tielemans. Pulisic back up to his feet now. And play can restart. And Richards on the ball. Drags it out wide on the far side of the field. Richards back to the halfway line. Gets it on a return to Lara. Pressures him to give it up. Here's Ream up this left-hand side. Handled by Robinson. Looped forward for Balogun, headed away back to Robinson at the top of the box. It drops for Castagna, and Belgium clear. Back out to the halfway line is Ream again. Ream from the left of the circle for Tyler Adams. Adams hoisting it into the right side of the penalty area, and it could not be brought down by Freeman. Needed a better first touch. De Kuiper was bothering him defensively. It's just not been the U.S.'s night to this point. Again, big step up in class tonight against this Belgium team that a lot of people thought that the U.S. were up to the challenge for tonight. Still time left as Courtois takes his goal kick left-footed. Long up the middle, Ream with a header, drops in the circle. Reyna trying to race to it, he does. Got there before Raskin. Reyna, the halftime substitute, sends it this way for Tillman. Tillman on the near touchline, turns it back for Anthony Robinson. Robinson now at the halfway line. Locates Tyler Adams. Adams into the middle of the field for Reyna. Reyna's drop comes for Richards. Richards will put it right back into the center circle for Adams. Steers it out up the left-hand side. Malik Tillman galloping forward, left of the penalty area. Tillman on his right foot, top left corner of the box. Sends it left of the D. Adams centered ball. Reyna pops it in. Balogun trying to get to it. It's over his head. Backpedals to try to get control of it. He can't. And it's over the end line for a goal kick. That's the right idea, but just a bit too much under that ball from Reyna. Ten minutes gone in this second half. Fans here in Seattle on their feet, but very nervy here. Courtois takes his goal kick short, gets it back. Now rolls it out to his right. And now here's a long ball up the middle that Richards will escort back to Freeze, who's out of his penalty area to play it. And Richards starts again. Knocked forward for Adams. Ball up the middle. Reyna nearly had it chopped away by Vanaken. Here's Ream. Forwards it up the left wing side. Pulisic drags it back to Robinson. Robinson in some space. Forward ball is blocked. Belgium's on it again. De Ketelaere, who scored both of their goals, feeds it left-hand side. Vanaken on for De Kuyper. De Kuyper at the halfway line on the far touchline. Belgium onto the back now with Balogun pressing. Forced back to Courtois. Out to his right. Nathan Ngoy. Ngoy up the right touchline. Castagna. And Ngoy again for Courtois. Belgium going to be hard to break down to find an equalizing goal for the U.S. over these last 40 minutes and change. Ball over the top, up the middle. Oh, Freeze is out here, and he's made a mess of it. And Freeze, oh my goodness, he's made a big mess of it, and it's shot towards an empty net, and it's gone in from Vanaken. And what in the absolute wide world of sports, what the hell were they doing? I have no idea where Matt Freeze was, where his head was. And it's 3-1, and that is a total disaster. I have no words. What in the wide, wide world of sports? They've just thrown the game away with that stupidity. Freeze is out of the penalty area. He has to chest it down. Then just kick it forward. He doesn't. It's turned over. And it comes right to Hans Vanaken, who then shoots it towards an empty net from distance. Still Tim Ream is between the ball and the goal. Need the captain to come up with a big play here. And he makes a mess of it. It's 3-1. Matt Freeze with a terrible moment, but God almighty, can someone just take command? Here comes a substitution. Pulisic's off the field. Sebastian Berhalter will come on for him. But it's 3-1, just shy of the hour. And Christian Pulisic has to either be really hurt. He has to be either really hurt, or there are going to be many questions asked of him that he will not look forward to answering for him to be exiting out of this game in the 59th minute. after that absolute embarrassment that we just saw. Here's Ream feeding the ball forward up the left touchline. Robinson, now the U.S. on a full-on assault. They trail by a pair. About a half hour to go. Chris Richards. And on back to Ream, who didn't even go to the ground to try to block that shot. You don't want to be too terribly hard on the man, but you're the captain of this team. You're the most experienced player of this team. And now he's giving the ball away on the near touchline. Fuck. Belgium throw-in taken away by Tillman. And now Adams will forward it to Sebastian Berhalter, who was the one that came in for Pulisic. Berhalter, who had a goal and an assist against Turkey in the last group game. Here's Richards feeding it up the right-hand side. Now Berhalter on the inside right channel. The drop for Richards, the return for Berhalter, who kind of staggered to it. Now tries to angle it ahead, but it's intercepted by Van Aken. And Belgium forwarded up the middle again. Freeze, is he going to come off his line this time? No. Ream will play it back to him. What a thought to just pound it away with the right foot there to get it out of danger. Incredible theory. Hans Van Aken again with that goal. His 8th career international goal. He had 2 in qualifying against Kazakhstan and Liechtenstein. You'd like to think he's playing against better competition than that tonight, but the way they played, maybe they aren't. Here's the ball hooked into the middle of the field. Ream nods it ahead. Into the circle, it bounces off Reyna. Belgium are calling for a handball. Shut up and get back on defense. Tyler Adams has it now. Here's Ream from the left of the circle. Finessed on for Robinson. Turned up the middle for Tillman. Tillman on this inside left wing. Forward ball for Adams. Quick return for Tillman. Given into the middle. Adams out wide on the right-hand side for Richards. Richards now charging forward. Ball ahead, missed Reyna. Balogun had it knocked free from him. Adams will reload. Out to Richards. Then Adams again. 50, 55 yards away from goal. Ladles it out to his right, Sebastian Berhalter. Berhalter out wide on the right. The return to him took a deflection. It came for Adams. Steered back this direction for Ream. Then Robinson on the left touchline. Anthony Robinson, top left corner of the penalty area, makes a move against the defensive Castagna. Twirls, cycles back up high. Adams pokes it. It's in front of Berhalter. Another putrid pass. Here comes Belgium now on a counterattack. Charging forward. Up the left-hand side. There's a foul on Deketalara. They play advantage into the area from the left. Trossard shot blocked. It's out for a corner. Corner for Belgium. From the far flag to Kuiper. Puts it in. Headed out by Tillman. High into the sky, it's headed back to the far touchline. It comes for Berhalter. Makes a terrible decision and takes a terrible route to the ball. Finally, and at long last, he finally gets it forward and out of danger. McKennie then loses it. Down goes Mekala, holding his left knee as if he's just been shot at. Ball up the far side for Reyna. Hacked away from him. Up to his feet is Mekala. I guess he wasn't hit too terribly hard. And Belgium back with the ball. Lifted up the near side where Tim Ream comes up with an interception. Chris Richards now back on it. Again, we know what Belgium did late in this stadium against Senegal, down by 2, so you never give up hope. But the old line in the very famous soccer TV show, Ted Lasso, it's the hope that kills you. Ream up the left-hand side. Robinson cuts to the inside of Castagna. Tried to trickle it back up the far flank. It took a deflection out. Reyna quick throw in. Balogun on the end of it from the left of the penalty area. Drops it on back. Gio Reyna out wide on the left-hand side. On for Tillman. Then up top for Ream. Ream on his left foot drags it up top for Richards. Richards out wide on the right-hand side. And now for Sebastian Berhalter as he plays catch with Alex Freeman. Then Richards on the halfway line. United States down a pair with 25 minutes plus stoppage time left. They've been thoroughly outplayed tonight, but they were still in the game before absolute hell broke loose in the back. Here's Ream, 40 yards from goal on the left-hand channel. Turns it back up top for Richards. Richards looks for Freeman on the right and finds it. Freeman pokes it to McKennie. The return for Freeman on an overlap, cutting in right of the area. His cross blocked. It'll be a corner for the United States, the first positive thing that's happened to the States in quite a while. Substitutions coming for Belgium. Looks like Jeremy Doku and Romelu Lukaku. Corner for the U.S. They need this next goal as quickly as they can get it. It's swung in, and it's headed wildly off target by Freeman. Again, we know what Belgium did late here against Senegal. You can't count on that kind of huge miracle. In all likelihood, you need a U.S. goal by the 75th or 80th minute to make it 3-2 to give yourself about 10 minutes plus stoppage time to get the equalizer, but Belgium might go down here and score a fourth. Lara hands it back off for Luca Bacchio, who gets to the end line, and a terrible attempt at a cross from Luca Bacchio just goes off the side of his foot and behind the goal. Still waiting on those two subs to come on for Belgium. It will be Romelu Lukaku and Jeremy Doku. Just waiting to see who they will replace. Anthony Robinson angles a ball ahead for Flo Balogun. Hands off for Malik Tillman. He gets jostled by Ngoy, and there's a foul. And here come those substitutions for Belgium. Doku coming on. He'll replace Dodi Luca Bacchio. And it's Lara that also heads off to be replaced by Lukaku. So two of the big hitters for Belgium that started the night on the bench will find the field here, and Charles Lara, who is quickly becoming a Belgian hero with 2 goals in the first half and becoming enemy number 1 for the United States liking. Play restarts, ball out of play on the far side off Vanaken. U.S. get a throw. Romelu Lukaku entering this game. Scored 1 against Senegal, giving him 7 career World Cup goals, 92 for him in a Belgium shirt. Is the all-time leading goal scorer in Belgian national team history. Here's Robinson on the left-hand side, back for Ream. Ream ahead for Adams, then the drop for Richards. Now Adams one more time. Tries to play Tillman up the far side. It's reverted back to Adams. There's absolutely no intent with any of these passes. Now finally they try to do something on a backdoor feed. That's picked off. Lukaku has it in the middle of the field. He'll charge forward, and there's a foul as Mekala was taken down by Tillman. Tillman's given a yellow card. Who cares at this point? Should be the hydration break, and it is. JT, your thoughts?
I don't think. I think if I gave my real thoughts, it would be a lot of what
The hell was that?
Uh,
you would think this team would be united together and they'd play together as one, being the United States of America, but do they just want to go out or something? Are they just done with this tournament that they want to go out and they do not care anymore? Because that's what it seems like. Like, what was... It hit him. It hit the captain. And he still couldn't keep it out.
I mean, just a disaster.
Seattle, we have a problem.
I mean,
But a big one.
why didn't Freeze just kick the ever-loving life out of the ball? Who cares where it ends up, as long as it's not behind you? Oh my God.
It started to rain.
I mean, of all the things that he could have done right there, I mean, he could have kicked it back towards his goal and just over it, and that would have been better. Sprite Tea might have to be upgraded to a Coke to get through the rest of this. It's going to be an interesting post-game show, JT.
I will get the bleep machine ready, Matthew.
Hopefully we'll have
Yeah,
Pierre on, and I have reached out to Seth Eves as well. We're going to just have a whole American roundtable here.
I will definitely start warming up the bleep machine then 20 minutes out. Something tells me you're behind, or you've shifted behind.
There's a chance of that.
Because the ball is into the first row on the far hand side. So there's definitely a large chance that Fox has messed up
Yeah,
the sync again.
yeah, Fox. Gotta love them. Women's World Cup next year on Netflix. See how that goes. As Belgium, with a free kick, do restart play. Oh my God, yeah, they've totally messed it up by more than 30 seconds. Good God. Ball up the middle. Balogun tried to flick it into the middle for McKinney. And Belgium with another takeaway, would you believe?
I love a takeaway. What kind? Chinese fish and chips?
Out of play by Richards for a Belgium throw. U.S. about to make another change. It's Ricardo Pepi that's going to come on. It's Tyler Adams that's going to come off. As the U.S. look for what would be nothing short of a miracle here.
Indian, pizza, Thai, Italian.
Yeah, it is takeaway over there. And not takeout or to go. Ball back in play. Balogun tries to wrestle it away from Mekala up the far side. He has, but a heavy touch allows Ngoy to slide it out of play on the far side. And the U.S. with a throw at the halfway line. Of course, we've lost our other two co-hosts in this round of the tournament. Canada out of the round of 16 on Saturday. Mexico last night. We're about to lose all three of the tri-hosts here in this same round. if the U.S. is unable to turn this around as Ream plays it just barely away from Lukaku out to Freeze. Now on the near side is McKenny, make that Robinson. Back for Freeze, and he'll hoist it out on the far side. And Freeman will control it. And a diagonal ball sent for Robinson. Can he chest it down in play on the left touchline? No. Belgium ball.
You sound thrilled.
You know, all of the talk in the past, this goes back to our old platform, all the talk, you should do Hurricanes hockey and do it like a regional broadcast, and as if you're a fan, and let your bias come out. This is what you would get.
Oh, no. That would not go well.
This is the kind of stuff you would get. U.S. on a throw. Tillman up the left touchline with two Belgians all around him. Is someone going to help Tillman out? Come get the ball. Nope. Belgium takes it. Vanaken up the near side, and then he gets tripped up by Tillman. Well, Tillman was supported absolutely less than zero by his teammates right there. It's beautiful. Free kick will be taken by Courtois. And with the left foot, Courtois steams it up the middle. Lukaku wins an aerial duel with his big frame. It drops for Doku into the area, up the middle. Good defending by Alex Freeman. Knocks it out of play. It will be a corner for Belgium, but Freeman... Ooh. Are they saying it's off Doku last? Because he's walking back with an exasperated look on his face there. He thought he had won at least one Belgium a corner. Oh, and that's clearly off of Freeman. They've made a mistake there, but doesn't matter because Belgium have won the ball back in the midfield off of the free kick or off the goal kick, but then they've turned it over on the far side. And Berhalter throws it back in for Richards as we have a quarter of an hour plus stoppage time left in hell before the post-mortem can begin. Anthony Robinson at the halfway line on the near left side plays it back to Ream, then for Richards. And now Ream again. Wants to launch it up the left-hand side. No one was making a run, though, so he has to step away from Lukaku. Tried to thread it for McKenny. Right on cue, it's intercepted by Trossard. Passing has been pathetic tonight from the United States as Trossard, forced back by Robinson, loops it on the right-hand side for Castagna. He and Robinson collide. Castagna goes down and acts like a grenade was just thrown at him. Yeah.
'Cause I'll catch a grenade for you.
Well, let's start shifting focus of this because obviously at the end of this we're going to have Pierre Moss and Seth Eves come in and they're obviously going to talk about a lot of this from the American point of view as Courtois sends it long up the middle. Lukaku heads it straight up into the air. Berhalter nudges it forward. Let's hold off on that for a moment because Tillman is coming up this left-hand side. Belgians all around him. He gets hip checked to the ground, and that's a foul. From the Belgian point of view, they've been brilliant tonight. And again, this is a team that was left for dead with about 10 minutes left in the Senegal game. Turned it around somehow with an all-time miraculous comeback as Tillman just can't keep that ball in play up the left-hand side. Belgium will have possession again. All the talk about Belgium coming into this tournament was that the golden generation had passed and all the talent that is on this team is probably aged out and the golden generation is gone. And this really wasn't a contender in this World Cup, Belgium. And they did not look like it in their first two games against Egypt or Iran, games that they were unable to win. They throttled New Zealand, then needed the all-time miracle against Senegal, but here they are tonight. And about a dozen minutes or so away from a trip to the quarterfinals and see what they can do against Spain. Richards from the halfway line. Back into the circle it comes for Berhalter, who gets a quick return from Reyna. The U.S. need a moment of magic here in the next couple of minutes to even give themselves a chance at trying to find a late equalizer. Freeman able to bounce off of De Kuyper, keep it alive on the right-hand side. Gets it to the top right corner of the area. McKennie to hook it in. Defensive header out by Castagna. Comes back outside for a volley, whipped in. And missing the net wide is Berhalter. It was a good strike from Berhalter. It's a heck of a hit. It's just wide. Wonderful first touch with his right foot to get it to his left. And he has fizzed that just wide to Courtois' right. That was the moment of magic they were looking for to get back in the game. Back in possession, the U.S. deep in their own territory here. With Richards hoisting it up into the middle. Headed down by Castagna. Gotten back to him from Raskin. Sent up the far side, but picked out by an American. McKennie gets tripped up and fouled by Jeremy Doku. McKennie slowly getting himself up. Actually, I don't think they've called a foul. The U.S. crowd is beside themselves. They've given Belgium a throw-in, which they take. Richards headed it away. Lukaku comes up with it on the far side. Reyna rushes into him. Berhalter, though, unable to come away with it. And here comes Belgium now. Lifted ball, cranked back this direction. Trossard trying to wrestle away Robinson. He can, and Robinson is freed up a ball on the left-hand side that finds Ricardo Pepi. Pepi plays it into the middle, and that pass is behind his target, Reyna. Intercepted. And Belgium on the ball again. 80 minutes complete. 10 plus stoppage time left. Doku puts Freeman on skates. Doku up the left-hand side. He'll hit the brakes, pull it back. Now he tries to spin to the outside of McKennie. It's a foul by McKennie. Drawn by Doku, the Manchester City man. 5 goals in the Premier League last season for Doku, who scored 5 goals in UEFA qualifying. Free kick here for Belgium. Taken and lasered all the way across the field, but too far for Trossard to run down. So, a United States throw deep on their end of the field with Anthony Robinson. He'll toss it in over the head of Reyna. Tried to be played back to Reyna from Pepi, but Pepi has lifted the ball up the left-hand side. Balogun's gotten to it. Balogun's in behind. Here's the chance into the area from the left. Left-footed shot saved by Courtois. One of the best goalkeepers in the world with a terrific save to deny Balogun of getting the U.S. back in the game. 2 terrific opportunities in the last couple of minutes. Berhalter just missed wide, and Balogun denied by Courtois. And with it being Balogun, the one that he denied, Belgian fans in the stadium and all around the world, and especially back in their homeland, I'm sure, let out an almighty cheer there. Just a reminder about all of this, by the way, and we'll talk about this later. Flo Balogun is not the bad guy in this story, as from the right of the penalty area, he plays it to the outside. It's whipped in by Freeman, blocked out for a U.S. corner. I know that's kind of what we do these days, is we make the bad guy who the story is around, but he asked for none of this. He was really hoping to let his play do the talking tonight and let his team's play do the talking tonight, but he hasn't played badly, but the team has. And Belgium have their the U.S. have their 5th corner of the night. It's whipped in from the far flag, and it's headed softly in the air by Balogun, caught easily by Courtois. He did really well to get on the end of that ball, getting around and past Mekala. And Courtois with just a really good save. He's one of the best in the world, Thibaut Courtois. He has been for a while. U.S. back on the ball in the midfield with Sebastian Berhalter out to his right, getting tripped up and fouled by Nicolas Raskin. Berhalter takes a very quick free kick from the right of the center circle. This is around the time where Belgium started to turn around the game against Senegal here in Seattle about a week ago, down by a pair of goals. Reina into the middle for Pepe. Pepe nudged it back for Berhalter, who had that great strike earlier. Here he's able to chip a ball in deep off the left side of the 6-yard box for Robinson, who tried to head it back across the face. Cleared away by the Belgian defense. Out it goes on the near side for a U.S. throw. Thrown in quickly towards the left side of the penalty area. Balogun, it's shielded away from him. Cleared back out by Belgium. Throw coming from Tillman. Tossed in for Ream. Return for Malik Tillman, who scored directly off a free kick again tonight. Second straight game that he's done that in. Now out wide on the right-hand side is Richards for Ream. This direction it comes for Tillman. Tillman with a pocket of space to progress in. Now Belgians surround him. He looks to his right. He plays it back for Berhalter. His scooped ball up the left-hand side, brought down by Robinson, tries to cut in from the left. Good defending from Castagna. Coming away with it is Trossard. He'll clear it out. That's all Belgium have to do for the next handful of minutes. In for Berhalter, back for Reina. Gio Reyna scrapes it back to the top of the circle. Richards looks right. Now he looks left. Directs it that way for Berhalter. Drags it out wide on the left-hand side. Robinson to whip it in towards the penalty spot, but it's over the target of his over the head of his target, Pepe. It comes to Doku, and Belgium can race this to safety. And Doku, in fact, has hit the accelerator, and he's gone by Freeman. And Doku could be in here with Americans about. He centers it towards the penalty spot. Lukaku has it tackled away. Doku's still on it, top of the box, flares it right. Trossard switching right foot to left. His shot blocked by Richards. It bounces to Trossard again. Right of the D, Leandro Trossard. He backpedals. Smartly plays it out to Raskin. Angled to Castagna. Top right corner of the penalty area, Van Aken, who scored the goal earlier that made it 3-1. Smartly, Belgium have played this out. Not as much looking to attack as they are looking to melt off seconds off the clock. Lifted ball up the right-hand side by Castagna. Can Raskin get to it? He does. He turns it across the face of goal. Americans there to defend it away, but they're not there to pick up possession. Stabbed on by Castagna. Deflects off of him, an American leg back to him. Now Pepe shoulders him off the ball. Tillman comes away with it. He's surrounded by two. And Tillman is fouled at the halfway line. And we're into the 87th. And there just does not seem like there is a way back for the United States. Put themselves into an early hole. And despite drawing level in the first half, they gave up a second goal very quickly after that. They have not looked like the team many thought they would look like tonight. Here's McKennie up the left-hand side. Forward for Balogun. A flick on for Tillman is picked off. Belgium's done a lot of that tonight. Just getting in the way of passes. Van Aken ahead for Doku. Berhalter trying to grab Doku back, but he gets a pass off out on the left wing. Belgium can just wind out clock here. Van Aken is fouled on the inside left channel by Berhalter. It'll be Belgium and Spain in the quarterfinal on Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. As Belgium off the free kick just play it back into their own half. That game will be at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. Spain, who knocked off Portugal earlier today with a late winner. Here's a long switch ball up the left-hand side. Trossard with a flick on. It's going to land at the feet of Chris Richards. And the pilgrimage back upfield begins for the United States again with Tim Ream. His last World Cup surely for the U.S. Up the middle. Quick one-touch feed to Tillman, left of the D. And he loses it through the challenge of Tielemans, and the ball rolls right to Courtois. I mean, listen, who knows if they were ever going to find an equalizer from 2-1. Obviously, they haven't scored a second goal yet. But good gracious, the goal to make it 3-1 and the way it happened just sucked all the energy out of the building. Had to be a huge emotional letdown for the team itself. Double sub coming on here for Belgium. Axel Witsel and Alexis Salamakers coming on. Leandro Trossard's coming off. What a game he's played tonight. Just a tremendous, filthy assist on the second goal to Charles de Ketelaere. Nicolas Raskin also comes off. Trossard and Raskin come off. Axel Witsel, a veteran of this national team at age 37, comes on. Second most caps in Belgian national team history. This is his 139th tonight for Axel. Belgium win a throw as we are into the 90th minute. Castagna throws it in. Bounces back to Ream from the left of the center circle. Now for Freeman, who will knife it forward. Chested down by Tillman, forwarded for Robinson into the area from the left. Tries to lift it to the back post, but Balogun was cutting up the middle, so it's well over his head, and Belgium can clear. There will be so much to be discussed in the aftermath of this from the United States side of things, because again, there was so much talk about this was supposed to be the World Cup. They were never going to win it, but this was supposed to be where they crashed through the glass ceiling and made their deepest run ever. And yeah, they were semifinalists in 1930. Totally different tournament back then. That was the first ever tournament. That's nearly 100 years ago now. It was quarterfinals or bust for a lot of people. As you see, 4 minutes has been added on. So it's only 3.5 minutes for the United States to score twice here to save themselves. But on a night where they have not played well at all, does not seem like any lifesavers are coming their way. Reyna sends it out wide on the right. It's square to the top of the box. Balogun let it roll on, but Salamakers picks it off. And he was able to forward it for Doku. And Doku will just hold up play in the middle of the field. Again, from the Belgium side of things, what a result this is, not only tonight, but to make it to the quarterfinals of this tournament when so many were thinking that their time had passed. As the U.S. win the ball back, and it's brought up by Robinson on the left-hand side, and here he comes, chips the ball in. Again, the passing has been pathetic tonight from the U.S. That's over the head of Balogun. Comes back out wide on the right for Reyna. Berhalter up in the air. It drops for Doku, and he was getting grabbed by Berhalter, and it's a foul. Home field advantage of being in Seattle, where they have a great competitive record in the U.S., not tonight. Balogun and Robinson come off for the United States as Mauricio Pochettino is just going to take this opportunity to bring in some players to get some minutes on a World Cup pitch. Haji Wright, who scored in the round of 16 game against the Netherlands 4 years ago in that 3-1 defeat, comes on along with Max Arfston of Fresno, California, heading towards another 3-1 defeat in the round of 16 here, unless it gets worse, which it could because they've turned it over, and it's come to the left side of the penalty area, and Lukaku shoots and scores. Beautiful goal, Lukaku. He's pinged it into the bottom right corner, and he scored yet again for Belgium. The all-time leading goal scorer in Belgium history, his 93rd career international goal, the 8th of his career in World Cup play, 3rd of this World Cup. Icing on top of the Belgian waffle here as Romelu Lukaku scores. And for Belgium fans, this will be a sweet, sweet victory after the last couple of days and what the last couple of days has been in the build-up to this game. Lukaku scores, it's 4-1, and it's over for the U.S. And, let the post-mortem begin. Another goal off a terrible turnover. Horrifying performance tonight. And we're going to lose all three of our hosts in the very same round. And the United States are going to have to live with the fact that they played the worst of the three co-hosts in the games in which they were eliminated. Playback underway, only a few seconds remaining here. A final indignity here has made it 4-1. The ball has come to Lukaku again. And he will play it back towards the halfway line. And the Jordanian referee could blow the whistle anytime he wishes here. Started early, 9th minute, and it never stopped for Belgium. Game is over. And Belgium are through into the quarterfinals. From the Belgian perspective, and you have to give a lot of credit to this Belgian team, all the talk is about their time had passed. Their time, their golden generation had passed. They were too old. They were not as skilled as they were 2 World Cups ago where they were the 3rd place finisher in Russia. Well, here they are, back from the dead against Senegal and into the quarterfinals. They'll be the decided underdogs Friday against Spain. It ends for the U.S. as they crash out of the World Cup in the round of 16. Only once in the modern World Cup have they made it past this mark. This was supposed to be the World Cup where that changed. This was supposed to be the World Cup where the glass ceiling was broken through Mauricio Pochettino and through the talent on this team. Tonight they crash out, and it will be a very dark cloud that will surround this program moving forward, because this was a pathetic performance on home soil at one of their best home field advantage sites in Seattle. They didn't show up prepared. They didn't show up ready. They didn't show up looking like they had a chance. And in the end, maybe we were all foolish to think that they did, because once again, the United States men's national team has proved that they are what they are, which is a fine top 20 or top 25 team in the world. But once again, after years, if not decades of hearing it, can we please stop hearing that soccer is going to take over the United States and overtake the likes of hockey and baseball and basketball? And if I hear one more discussion about this becoming the football of this country, I will rip my ears off. I bring in Pierre Moss and Seth Eves, who I would imagine are two fellow frustrated Americans here. I want to give all the flowers to Belgium because they played the way they should have played tonight, and here they are doing what few people expected them to and advance to the quarterfinals of this World Cup. That's great for them. But for us Americans, and on this American channel that, we do have other people from other countries that do come on quite a bit, but it is a channel based in America where we've got to come from the American perspective. We heard from Pierre Moss at halftime and his thoughts on the first 45. We'll hear Pierre's thoughts for the entire game in a moment, but I want to start with Seth Eves because, Seth, this was a disaster tonight. It looked terrible from the start. It did not get any better even through the equalizer that they really didn't earn or deserve, but they got, and then they looked that gift horse in the mouth. And then what in the hell happened with Matt Freese? I don't know. Your thoughts as we begin the post-mortem here.
I think disappointment's the right word for it.
Failure.
You were just saying it. I don't think this was. Anybody that thought we was going to win the World Cup was pretty foolish. Let's be honest. I mean, it's nice to dream, but when you live in reality, but this was a chance. I told you earlier in the chat, and I was telling my friends, I said this is massive, because if you win this game, then you're into the quarterfinals. You match the best run, and history, and it's all this history, and you're playing with house money because you're probably going to be in the odds makers, amongst realistic odds makers, the 8th of the 8 teams, maybe 7th, depending on who wins Switzerland, Colombia. You'd be playing with house money at home the rest of the tournament. And if you lost, it was more of the same old. And, well, I was actually wrong. It was actually a little bit worse than the same old. I just remember, the U.S. has gotten knocked out in plenty, of World Cups, obviously. 0-2 against Germany, 2010 Ghana, 2014 Belgium, and even to an extent 2022 Netherlands. At least there was some fight there, where you knew you were the underdog, decided underdog, or in the Ghana case, you were playing a virtual road game. But at least there was some fight. It's the way this has happened, I think, that really makes this such a disappointment. Outside of the free kick goal, nothing tonight. And I guess Rudy Garcia knew what he was doing when he rested 3 of his best players. He didn't need them. And Tim Ream had a great group stage, but he was found out tonight. I hate to say that. He's been a great servant for this country, but this is a country that's got to get better. The main areas of importance for the next cycle are defense and group stage and goalkeeper. Whether the manager stays or not, that's a whole different kettle of fish. If he wants to move on or you want to move on, you have to make sure you cannot recycle the likes of Greg Berhalter and Bruce Arena. You've got to continue to try.
Oh my God! Don't even.
And aim big if that happens. I don't know. This is, 4 years ago it was easier to accept because I thought, we are around a 16 country, but I don't know, man. To me, it felt like Belgium was there to be had, and the U.S. tonight looked like an under-20 team playing against the prime Brazil team from the 60s and 70s, with Zico, Socrates, and those guys. That's what that looked like tonight. And listen, I want to give flowers to Belgium. They've won. They did well. I just find it hard to believe that they're that good. And Spain will probably have the way, but you never know. We thought we'd do that with Portugal. This World Cup's been throwing up all kinds of things. But I want to add one other thing too. First couple weeks of this tournament, everybody was getting in all their jokes about the European teams, and now you look at it here. A lot of European teams. France, England, Norway, Spain, Belgium. If Switzerland were to win tomorrow, that's 6 of the 8 quarterfinalists that are from Europe. So they figured it out, as they so often do. And Morocco now the last chance to break up the European South American stranglehold this tournament's had since its inception.
I don't want to kick a man while he's down and while he's going through this devastating loss, but Tim Ream, Jesus, I know I come from the world of hockey. I cover hockey so much. And this is not hockey, but God almighty, the goalkeeper has had an absolute mare. You've got the ball coming at you. Fall on the ground if you have to. I can't even fathom. I still cannot even fathom that third goal. Pierre, what is there to say about this?
Well, first of all, credit to Belgium. They played very well. No question about it. They were the better team from pillar to post. They were the better team from minute 1 to minute 94, whatever it was. No doubt about that. Credit to them. But just a few stats that they're out there. 3 mistakes by the U.S., 3 goals by Belgium. 7 shots in total for the U.S. 7 shots on goal for Belgium, 4 of which ended up in the back of the net. I'm looking at this U.S. roster right now, and there's quite a few names on here. I just gotta go through them real quick of guys that I've seen enough of. I'll start with the goalies, the goalkeepers. Matt Turner, Matt Freese, they can both go. Goodbye. The defenders, Tim Ream, thank you for your service. I've seen enough. Sergino Dest, I've seen enough. Miles Robinson, you can go too. See you later. As far as the midfield, Christian Roldan, I've seen enough. Goodbye. And the forwards, you know what? Alejandro Zendejas, you don't even matter. Goodbye. See you later. Those are the guys I've seen enough of. And how about this, fellas? Christian Pulisic.
Oh my God.
Our number 10.
Oh my God.
Our supposed Captain America.
Awful. He was awful tonight.
I mean, our supposed best player, Mauricio Pochettino, U.S. manager, thought you were so bad that with the U.S. being down 2 goals, he takes you off the field in a round of 16 World Cup game.
Yep.
He takes you off the field, and your replacement, Sebastian Berhalter, son of Greg Berhalter, by the way, Sebastian Berhalter did more in 30 to 34 minutes on the field than Christian Pulisic did in 60 minutes.
I'm so glad you brought him up, because if no one did, I was going to. Because as I said in the moment that substitution was being made, he better be really hurt. And I know that sounds bad. No one wants him to be really hurt. But he better be really hurt. Or if you came out of that game, at that point, stop it. Stop telling me that he's some savior for the U.S.
But here's the thing, Matthew. Here's the thing. This wasn't him coming out of the game. This was him being taken off because he was terrible.
Yeah.
He didn't come out of the game. He was taken off. He was taken off.
Yeah, and as you said, Berhalter.
You're down 2 goals.
Berhalter came in, played well, and created a really good chance. He had a great hit.
Yeah, he did. He did. Malik Tillman, he had a good game. Free kick was wonderful. He had a good game. He showed some fight. Anthony Robinson, he tried to do something out there. But, I mean, the 3 mistakes for the 3 goals, just terrible. I think the worst mistake of all is got you, Matt Freese. Matt Freese. What are you doing? Get the ball.
There are so many other words that I want to say, but I can't. What? What? Where's the button? Where's the button? Hold on. That's the button. Thank you. What in the?
Oh Lord!
I mean, Seth. What? What was he doing? What was he thinking? He could have turned around and kicked it over his own goal. It would have been better.
Really?
You just asked me what was he doing? I was like, that nothing good. Nothing good.
And then again, I can't imagine how Tim Ream does not throw his body on top of the ball.
Probably too old to do so.
Probably. Break a hip.
Probably too old to do so. Freaking guy, man. I mean, this is the Lawrence Karius moment for Matt Freese.
I can't.
The only problem is here, I don't think we have an Allison Becker that can bail us out.
Yeah, that's a good point. We do not.
Cannot fathom that. I honestly can't.
My God.
I hate to be that guy, but I recognise that peer any day of the week that's just been shown on BBC News.
I just can't.
Yeah.
And the build up to this game, which has been so stupid, Belgium has every reason to scream and shout and jump around. But this is, I don't know. It's a damning thing that we've played Belgium in the same round of the World Cup during the peak, or at least the start of the peak of their golden generation, and we played them better then than we did tonight.
Yeah.
Under
It's ridiculous.
Jurgen Klinsmann.
Yeah.
A Belgium team that, I mean, Matthew, you were talking about it earlier. I do wonder what Senegal would have done. What would Senegal have done to us? I mean, God.
Yeah, really. Jeez.
I mean, as bad as we thought it could be against Spain if we had gotten there, how bad would that have been now?
Yeah, really.
I mean, Christ Almighty!
And again, the point that I keep coming back to.
And you're right about this. It sucks about it is that the U.S. did. I don't want to hear that Canada lost by 3 goals. Canada played better. Was still in the game with 5 minutes to go.
Oh yeah,
or 6 minutes.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
they were.
That score line was not indicative of what that game was. But yeah.
No.
U.S. played the worst of the 3 co-hosts in the round that they were all eliminated.
Remember, we passed on Jesse Marsh for Greg Berhalter.
Exactly.
And that's what's left.
Exactly right. And tonight is not on Mauricio Pochettino.
No, it's
not at all.
He did.
No, not at all.
I'm tired of hearing the people that I know saying, "Oh, same old Pochettino." I don't understand this Pochettino slander. Chelsea should have never sacked him. He took Tottenham to the Champions League final without Harry Kane for the quarterfinals and semifinals, I might add. No. If anyone, everybody deserves blame, but he's on the bottom of the list as far as I'm concerned.
I'll tell you who's on the top of the list. Number 10, Christian Pulisic.
Yeah,
I agree.
He's on top of the list. I'm sorry.
It's him and
sorry.
Him and Freeze for me, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I mean, you look at what we've seen from Seattle in the Australia game and then tonight. When Fox came into their broadcast, that looked like College Game Day on steroids. That's
it really
what
did.
It looked like.
They really did.
Jammed that stadium. There were a few pockets of Belgian fans, but it's 65,000 American fans that have followed this team up the West Coast during this run. This is a major letdown. The thing that I keep coming back to, I'm not sure if I'm hitting the right point to continue to come back to this over and over. But Pierre, we talked about it at halftime. Seth, I want to talk with you about it. Shut the hell up about soccer in the U.S. if this is all we can do. It continues to be talked about. It is mentioned in every single article, every single podcast, everything. When it comes to America, we like winners in this country. Maybe that is just American cockiness, but we like winners around here. You know what we like? We like the hockey team going out with a player missing his front tooth and scoring a gold medal winning goal against Canada. We can't even beat Belgium. We can't even be competitive with Belgium in the round of 16. To your point, Seth, we play Spain. If we win this game by some merciful blessing, play Spain on Friday, get our brains beaten in. We can't be competitive with the best teams. We lost to this team in March 5-2. We didn't learn anything from that. We played Belgium twice this year. Been outscored 9-3. We're not even on Belgium's level, Seth. So please stop telling me how this sport is going to challenge baseball and hockey and basketball and American football. Stop. This is what we are. And the faster we accept it, the happier we all will be. Because when it comes to 2030, if we qualify, which you'd think we would with a 48-team tournament, but you never know. I don't want to hear about the U.S. breaking a glass ceiling, Seth. This is what we are. Accept it.
This was the tournament. If it was going to happen, this was going to be the tournament that it was going to break through, and it wasn't. It didn't happen.
And again,
it's a golden opportunity missed.
And again, if that's what you are, it's what you are. But in this country, where we have so many other sports, where fans can go crazy about the Knicks in basketball, and go crazy about the Hurricanes, and the Seahawks and the Dodgers, and all the other teams and all the other sports, being beaten every single World Cup in the round of 16 just not going to cut it for this country, because they can just turn their attention to something else. Oh, by the way, you want to be rescued by the women next year? What did they do last Women's World Cup? What's that looking like?
Well, are coming off an Olympic gold medal, so there is that, and maybe the best coach probably, or 1 or 1B women's coach in the game. So there's that aspect to it, but yeah, I want you, college game. You mentioned college game day on steroids. I don't even know if it was a game day game. I don't even know if it was a game day game or if game day was just in the studio. They were there. It was too young for me to in real time. Tell you what this was. This was the World Cup equivalent of when game day went to Knoxville in 1996 against Florida. Tennessee was ranked number 2. This was going to be Peyton Manning's big moment to beat the Gators. The ball, you blinked, and Florida was up 35-0. It was the most lopsided 35-29 game ever. You blinked, and Florida was up 35-0. The crowd was out of the game at halftime. That's what I just compare it to. If you're using college game out there, that's kind of what I'm comparing it to.
Well, it's a huge disappointment, and on many levels, it's a failure. But again, you do have to give Belgium a lot of credit for what they have done, and we'll see them Friday against Spain.
Guys.
JT, I was just about to hand it to you for a word before we head out.
Well, why? Thank you. Sorry for jumping the gun. That result was out of this world, literally, because unfortunately, now that the United States are out, they will not reach the final. They will not win the World Cup, which means the World Cup final match ball will not be going to the moon. Rest in peace, Moon Ball, 2026 to 2026.
Yeah, that lasted for...
That was an actual thing, by the way.
That lasted for
NASA were
days.
going to send the match ball of the World Cup final to the moon if America won it.
Well, don't have to worry about that.
No.
All right. That is, that's it for us. Pierre, Seth, thank you. I feel like we just had a good therapy session. That's fun. JT, let's roll through these graphics.
Also,
pretty cool.
NASCAR Chasm has spoken.
Has he?
And has said, whatever, Belgium has won 0 Daytona 500s.
Wow, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. All right.
Anyway,
coming up.
Hit that button. I will hit that button. You can press the bracket. That should be updated.
Yeah. So coming up on the channel, we'll have the last of the round of 16 games. The bracket does not want to work for me. Last of the round of 16 games tomorrow at noon, Argentina and Egypt from Atlanta. And that'll be followed at 4 o'clock by Colombia and Switzerland in Vancouver. That will set the quarterfinal stage. Quarterfinals begin on Thursday with France and Morocco from Foxborough, Massachusetts, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Then Friday, the Spain and Belgium quarterfinal will be at 3 o'clock from Los Angeles, and then a quarterfinal doubleheader for you on Saturday starts with Norway and England from Miami, and then finishes up with the winners of tomorrow's games squaring off against each other that night. The semifinals next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. Also before then, Sunday night, NASCAR is in Atlanta. The new action track in NASCAR. Hope you'll tune in for that. Semifinals, as I mentioned, Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Both are at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Third place match is next Saturday for whoever will care about that. And then the final is on Sunday, July 19th, with our coverage starting at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time from East Rutherford, New Jersey. So it finishes tonight with Belgium knocking off the United States 4-1. We will see you tomorrow for our doubleheader. Until then, we say so long from Seattle, where it will be a sleepless night.